So let's say you're at the 500K mark and you're ready to scale and you're just not sure exactly what you should be focusing on. Well, this is what I call the Momentum to Millions playbook. And that's where we're really going to get specific on where you should be putting your time, energy, and focus. So, what made the biggest difference for me at this stage came down to three things: financial mastery, customer journey, and aligned offers. And they all work together. So, first, financial mastery. I kind of hinted at this before. Now we're getting deeper. Know your numbers, buy each of your offers. So, you look at each of your offers and you ask, what does each one really cost in time, tools, and team? And what kind of money can I actually generate from each of these offers? So, if you don't have a bookkeeper at this stage, then it's time. So you should have a bookkeeper, and you don't need a CFO, so chief financial officer. I've always used a fractional CFO, but it wasn't until I was making a couple million. But you definitely need to have a bookkeeper that's keeping their eye on the details. And because you're not probably ready for a fractional CFO, you might be, but if you don't feel like you're ready, and I get that, you do have to know your numbers. So here's the deal. In high school, I hated math. I was so bad at it. And then when I went to college, I was like, wait, you don't have to take math classes? I was a communication major, which some people joke that that's a joke, but I was. And there was one class that had math, statistics. And I was terrified of it, but it was pretty easy, but there were no other math classes. So I do not feel super comfortable around the numbers, but I do not let that stop me. I am definitely tracking my numbers every single week. I'm asking a bunch of questions. Now I can use ChatGPT to analyze my P&Ls and look at the data and tell me what to look for. I have a fractional CFO that helps us immensely, but I still use ChatGPT to kind of make sense of some of the numbers once we, let's say, do a launch and I've got all the data in a debrief. I'm pouring it all into ChatGPT and saying, make sense of this. What do I need to look out for? What's good? What's not? All that stuff. So, coming back to you though, I want you to track profit margins in your business. And I say profit margins in terms of if you want to do it by each offer, but let's just start out simple and make sure that you know what your profit margin is at the end of every quarter.